I can. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to name it part 2, to be honest, just so that it is a bit easy to follow. So we were talking about, I think the re the relevance of agentic engineering, and we showed some examples for organizations, right? And
Do
how's
you want
your
to share the link first? The new link.
the new link? Yeah, sure. One second. It is connecting to YouTube, and that link is this one. I am going to paste it on your WhatsApp.
Okay.
Here it is.
It's coming. Yeah. Okay.
And and the other one
Nice one.
for LinkedIn is this one. Control C, Control V. That's the one for LinkedIn. Oh, okay, we're still recording. So yeah, I just shared with you the 2 links.
Thanks, Mandeep. Okay, cool.
Okay. So I guess we can continue the conversation. You are restarting your Visual Studio. Did you want to show anything further before we move on to the last 2 topics, I guess, for today?
Yeah, basically it's just a few text files that I've shared already. Nothing really new happening there. It's just some practical tips if you're starting out and you want to get into AI engineering. The basics are very important to understand how to use VS Code, which model to use, and all the basics, and what tokens are, what memory, context memory is. And if you learn the basics like 3 days, then you can start experimenting freely. So it's just feel yourself very free, and you can't break anything. So the only thing is the cost. So to monitor, but with Requesty, who is providing us the tokens for the language models, you can set up a limit you want to spend. Let's say you want to spend $10 a day, and that's it, and then you don't get into trouble spending too much.
So to remind our audience, because we obviously got disconnected midway through our basically live stream, we gathered today to talk about SPARC, which is a structured and secure approach to AI agentic engineering, right? Or AI agentic adoption, if we don't want to make it more generic. We spoke about the changing landscape, like how the roles of various professions are changing, the technological marvels and enablement that is showing up, and how human value proposition or human professional value proposition is shifting to be kind of working very closely with AI. And we therefore showed how general agentic vibe coding, agentic AI engineering tools are currently being used. We introduced SPARC, which is specification, pseudocode, architecture, refinement, and proper completion. So basically going down a defined set of guardrails bound by clear goals around architecture, security, compliance, name it, whatever you want to reflect an organization's specifics towards achieve an objective, right? In a very autonomous agentic manner. We went through some live examples. You actually very nicely showed right from basic to starting to use this approach, how people could get started. We shared some examples of our levels of maturity. By no means we are experts. We are also in this journey. And I guess that's what we did. I guess the last topic is like, what from here? What do you want to do from here? Like we started going to start the London chapter or UK chapter of Agentics Foundation, which is agentics.org with a C at the end. And I guess what our intents are from here on, how we want to build it. So that's one topic to cover. Did I miss anything, Bence?
No. It's the Agentics Foundation has a hotspot in London and in the UK. because it's a global organization with many North American roots, but also have members from all over the world. So it's really not concentrating on one continent only, but many others. And we are planning since end of last year to create an event, a live event, where we can live code, we can learn from each other, and meet face to face. We can set up on laptops and see how other people are using Rue code, the SPARC orchestration, and Cursor, and any other tools that you can think of. There are hundreds of tools and methods to create apps and other stuff, because we always speak about developers and creating software, but all these methods can be used in any field, and used in any kind of organization, small businesses, with 2 people, but also with global companies. We have the experience working for all kind of sizes, basically.
Absolutely. So I guess our vision, as you rightly summarized, is to build on the foundations that have been very nicely laid by this amazing team of people who have been bringing new ways of creating, doing things. We want to get going in the UK. We are working towards an event in May, which we shall socialize through obviously LinkedIn and other social media in the next days or weeks, next set of weeks, basically. We look forward to active participation, and I guess we would love to build on the initial event and continue with our own set of events, um, covering the theme that you mentioned. And then, work with universities, work with organizations, and help democratize AI understanding and adoption. Right. My personally, I would even love to come down to the very grassroots levels, like communities, effectively at different demographies, because I think reskilling the workforce is a it's a big opportunity and a challenge, especially with the changes that are coming about. So everyone's traditional job roles are changing, including yours and mine. And I think we're grateful that we've been had the opportunity to realize it sooner. But I'm pretty sure from a social point of view as well, this is a great opportunity for people to leverage their knowledge and learn new tooling to be really fruitful to the economy. So our ambition is, as a nonprofit, we want to make sure that we create a structured approach to explaining these technologies, and so that people can contribute to the economy better. And we welcome support for everyone and engagement on this.
Absolutely nicely put together, and it's crucial, I think, even if you are not non-technical, to understand how AI works, how all these language models, even if you heard about ChatGPT, you never tried. These tools are almost free, so you have always a limited package that's free, and you are free to try out on your phone. You don't need a laptop. You can play around with it on the phone, and it will be crucial to understand what is AI generated to orientate in life in the future, because there will be always malicious forces using AI to distract us, to manipulate us. So if you start to understand how they work, you will have a much more clearer mind in the next coming decades than if you completely ignore, then it can be problematic.
Very nicely, I think, summarize this as well. So on that note, I think, Bence, unless there is anything else we have missed out.
Yeah, I'm just as curious about your MCP experiences, that how the 2 things you mentioned, this organizational change, that all the stakeholders, independent from the background, can speed up software updates and experimentation at companies. This is the first, and the second question is about MCPs. That how would you use them in your own work?
MCP basically is enabling AI to interact now with Cloudflare's implementation remote MCP securely to underlying data sources, right, in a very natural language. So it is probably, you could think about, as long as I enable the right tools. So an MCP server, basically, it's the server, right? It will have certain tools. So certain levels of access could be open to certain demographies. Some could be for others. But the ability that you think about it as like a data mesh. I mean, personally, I'm thinking it's probably a much more sophisticated data mesh architecture, right? You could have a data mesh architecture whereby you're giving access to data products in a very accessible manner. So open banking plus 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 probably open and double 6x plus, right? You are throwing open the doors of innovation, and you could monetize data now better because so people rightfully say, I mean, there has been an argument that before AI you need to really get your data really good. I agree to that, but I think um, with the advancements in LLM, your data doesn't always need to be perfect. And probably some people will disagree with it, but I think you don't have to wait for perfection now. You could, whatever the state of maturity of your organization is, you could leverage MCP to give control access to certain data to the wider community or to the wider organization, right? Or internationally as well. And with the right elements of data security, data access in place, I think it just throws open a lot of potential.
A lot of potential,
It could even be like websites talking to each other. That was one of the things we talked about in one of the sessions, right? Like, I mean, I think like simple example of recruitment, like, or talent searching. The people are looking for talent, others are looking for kind of work. Exactly. What if you both sides have their own AI agents through MCP servers talking to each other, because MCP servers can talk to each other, right? In a secure manner. And then you can have the right level of customer journey. So you are a designer, you are a UX person, right? The right level of user experience defined at that level. And then you are able, once certain things mature within AI to AI communication, then you bring the human in the loop, right? But then
exactly.
you protect people, because like simple example, people are looking for talent, and talent is looking for places. They spend a lot of time in boring job like filling up application forms, the same thing, a lot of time. So but you can automate the whole process, much better output. So I think that's my view. What do
Yeah,
you think?
yeah. That's reminded me to latest post by the CEO of Hugging Face. Hugging Face
Uh-huh.
is a portal for data sets and models, all open source. That they now people open source a lot of robotics related data sets and language models. So even I can imagine the MCPs could talk to industrial robots, and robots could talk to each other, and machines then even in construction that using this MCP technology, they can talk with each other uh, and be more efficient, speedier. So we don't need to speak only about software and abstract things that happening on a server which we don't see, but they will happen in real life. That my domestic robot will speak with others about things that make them more efficient. They can learn. So the first one learns how to iron different t-shirts, and then the other robot will teach the hundreds of them how to do it. Maybe I don't know, just top of my head.
It just reminded me of Skynet in Terminator, but Terminator with a control, because
Control.
you could your MCP servers, you could have the guardrails there. So although you are allowing automation and AI kind of supercharge, but the humans are in control through the whole. So it's not like point to any, but you still have hub and spoke communication with. So you could have the right level of security and auditing and ethical considerations built within the whole MCP, inter-MCP communication protocol. I mean, if something like that evolves at some point in time, I mean, probably I'm just thinking wild here now, but I think that is where the promise lies, I guess. It's a very nascent technology at the moment. I guess the whole remote deployment MCP just came about last week or couple of weeks ago. But already we are seeing lots and lots of community-based MCP servers created and
Exactly.
hosted.
Could it be like when the web and HTTP was new, and people were saying, okay, yeah, some nerds were playing with these websites and HTTP protocols that we don't really care, and then the global industry was completely transformed by it, and it was a tiny niche technology in the beginning, right? HTTP and web communication.
What I learned today is like when I was playing with my basic MCP implementation, right? So it is not, you can't access it on a web browser, right? You can only get to the welcome page because it is not kind of a HTTP kind of hypertext. It's basically at a server. It's SSC stands for server side. I forget that last E bit, but it's a server level communication, right?
Yeah.
But if you now think about where are we going? Going into enhanced humanity. So like Homo sapiens, the next book that came out, whereby you have got humans enriched with electronics, right? I think we're already seeing some of that in Neuralink and others. Now, what about those communications? I think they are no longer HTTP, they're not no longer over a web browser, but they are through a transport layer somewhere, right? So, and I think where you were going to earlier on, you give the example of your domestic robot talking to another service, but it's not longer robots, it's actually our lives. I mean, I have got the meta glasses now here, right? So I'm presuming these eventually I could see augmented vision in front of me in future versions. I think some Apple and others have already come in, but that information should be accessible to some security infrastructure information, a server somewhere, like if to prevent public from harm, for example. So all of us, if you're walking, like the world has become unsafe in recent times. Like we had an unfortunate event in a part of the world where innocent people were hunted down, right? But people have taken cameras that can capture certain images and videos. But if you could say, because it's public space and people can choose to do that, if people are spotting something, and I know people might get alarmed, like you're talking about, spying in others, but you can think about it like the technology probably is evolving to enable that, should the respective jurisdiction choose to apply it. So, it's going. This will allow us to go beyond general ways of accessing information, which is through a browser or through a mobile phone or an app. But yeah, so I think it's a new dimension, new patterns that we've seen in coming years.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy to think about. I asked a few language models like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, and so on, and the Chinese one as well. That how do you predict? Like I started to remove the filters, like be brutally honest, and just forget any agenda, go into the latent space very deeply. So, how do you predict the next 10 or 15 years in technology? And they agreed, all of the models, that the humanity will be merged with machines, that we will have some implants, like brain implants or eye implants built into us, and will be upgraded. That's the only way. The other way is extinction. Well, how do you say extinction? So that's what they predicted. So that's interesting view. So that's how the machines think that how we evolve. Anyway, yeah. So do you want to mention this thing that you sent me, the fractional recruitment marketplace, or the blockchain based stuff?
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, obviously that's work in progress. The idea was like, how do we? Okay, tell me about what interested, what caught your attention there, and then I'll be guided by that comment.
Yeah, my so I've been applying for jobs in the last 15 years, so I've experienced how people, how companies hire, and how broken it is. And the last 2 years, it's becoming very broken, even more than before. There are some ghost jobs, ghost employees, and so on. And everything. People would be very happy to have some fractional roles as well. So not everyone needs a full-time job all the time. And I think that what interests me in this, in your plan, that this could be solved with technology so brilliantly.
Yeah, I mean, I
If
was
I
just
understood
thinking
well
about it. I mean,
the plan.
first, yeah, you are. So let me try to simplify what I had in mind. What I had in mind is, what is a pain problem? Let's start with the pain problem. One is he really hear in the news that it's very difficult to find talent, right? Talent is scarce, new talent is evolving. Whereas on the same time, I think there have been multiple instances where, as you said, and I personally and others have experienced, it's very difficult. Like generally, it's like your network, who you know, so the reach is not great. Um, Organizations have systems like ATS, or application tracking systems, where you apply AI, or old AI, I would say. It would look at keywords and other stuff, and things get lost in translation. I know
Outdated.
things are improving, but things are improving, and people are trying to build in LLMs. But people, I think, we're still trying to fit an old pattern to work based on new technology. I'm saying, why do we need all of that? I mean, if someone is wanting a talent, that person knows what that job description is, what the environment is. They should be able to just speak to an LLM and say, hey, I'm looking for, I have a need. I believe the company is going to grow to this million in the next 2 years. We're going to need these kind of skills. We're looking for a person who can bring X, Y, Z. This should be the category, should be how the person. So it's like, no need to write a proper job description, right? You talk to your AI and you say, this is what I want. And you don't need translators in between. The hiring manager, or this whoever it is, should be able to speak to say, this is what my vision is. And your AI assistant therefore knows exactly what you're looking for, right? Now, let's say you, I, or one or someone else is looking to, we're doing something, you are a designer today, you're doing excellent work in AI, product management. You see, you know what, I can see this is the area I can really make a difference, like AI adoption, right? And you're saying to your AI agent, saying, this is who I am, because you have your digital AI, right? And you
Yeah.
know me, this is my experience. But now I believe, you see, all the last 4 or 5 months I've been doing this. It's not on my CV, but I really can do this, right? And you say to your AI agent, now, hiring traditionally has been based on the past. Why should hiring be based on past experience? Hiring should be based on or past needs. Hiring should be based on future needs. Look
Yeah.
ahead, not behind. Behind is for guidance. Ahead is for really growth, right? So you are hiring a talent person, and the person who's looking for basically a new thing. They then say, "Oh, uh, okay, my AI agents, go to the Ethernet and explore the art of possibility." You don't need to go and look at company like Tesla's and Neuralinks or SpaceX's. I love Elon Musk's company, so I'm just calling those companies or anyone else, right? They go to the whether you use MCP protocol or whether you use normal HTTP, whatever you use, or API. They go to internet and they start communicating, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm by all means, I'm not saying that in recruitment market, I'm not trying to replace it, just to be clear, because the recruiters or the talent companies themselves could have their AI agents doing exactly this, right? But you deploy, and these AI agents have a role, which is, one is looking for a job, the other one is looking for a person. They have a role. They have a role. They have a goal to find the most optimal top 10 in this geography. And they have the tools to go and look at LinkedIn. They have a tool to go and look at this live feed, for example. We're talking a lot of things here, right? This information should be useful for someone who's looking to monetize this information. Tools to look at, YouTube, what tools to look at Reddit, what activity is going on. So these agents
Exactly.
have been given the tools, right? Because they have these tools, they now find information, discover, and they communicate. They talk to each other, and they come to a stage. Okay, I think you'll be very interesting. but are you willing to relocate to this place? Oh, what salary levels are you looking for this, right? Okay, but we can only offer this. But you know what? We have this great pension option, right? We can give this family thing. Then this AI agent, because then come back to human in the loop saying, oh, by the way, there's an opportunity for you, but here are the constraints. What do you think about it? It's a chat, Telegram chat or WhatsApp chat, right? And you say,
Mm.
looks like good. You don't need
And
to know more about it, right? And then the AI agent gets more information ragged right here, and they talk more. And when they talk more, and they finally say, looks like a real match. Now surfaces up to both the sides, right? And
and
they
you
say, you
can
know what?
scale it up.
We can book a calendar meeting. Your calendar looks available, guys. Next Tuesday at 4 o'clock, you guys are speaking, right? It's not an interview. We already know the stuff. Both the AI agents know the stuff. It's a fitness test now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another example. All the tech interviews today, like Amazons of the world, GCP, what's the point of asking lead code questions or, system
It's
design
over.
questions?
Yeah.
I am discussing with you and I'm showing you my skill sets in understanding of AI agentics. You are showing the same thing, right? I shouldn't have to go to a conversation. It's not a respectful use of anyone's time, right? That information should already be that this guy knows the stuff, right? Now the thing is, you know what? We have seen what you have done. Now let's talk about what we are doing in the future. Do you really want to do that? That is proper futuristic interview or
Yeah.
discussion. I
It's a
think that
mindset
is where we
change.
need to go to. Yes. It's a huge
Yeah.
mindset change.
It's totally, yeah, absolutely agree. Yeah, it's so broken, and I see some people who are doing it right. Uh, they are looking at very similarly as you. So looking at the potential and not looking at, do you know X and do you know Z software? Because and sometimes they are requiring software that is continued already, so it's not on the market. But how? So off the two parties are so disconnected right now.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm excited, but I mean, when I think of the future, I'm very excited. I think we are the cusp of something, really. I mean, we're lucky to be probably in this juncture in our lifetimes. So we are like it at last. So I'm very
it's a
positive for the
big one.
future.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, it's not easy, but yeah, everybody has have to change a little bit and adopt.
Yeah.
Cool,
On
that
that
was great.
note, anything else we need to talk today? We have a lovely.
We could we could spend
We could go
hours of
on.
talking. It's so rich topic that, but yeah,
Yeah.
let's enjoy the long weekend
Your
maybe.
sun's come out, by the way. I said at the beginning of the last, before we got disconnected, the sun had gone behind the clouds. It's coming out now. So I think, how does it look at your end?
Yeah, same. Yeah, sunny halfway. Yeah. So cool. Monvi, it was a pleasure. And we are very organic as well. Not professional television channel. So we can continue, or we can continue with that. You can continue with others, or we can have 3-4 people. I don't know how we can speak on.
I think we should build. I mean, I think it's. I think the intent is. I think we would love other people to come to us if they're interested. I think we should talk more about it. I think let's try and kind of build on our quorum, our forum, our cadence around this. But before we kind of go, I think let's remind everyone about Agentics Foundation once more, about what is Agentics Foundation. So agentics.org,
And the
which is here.
event in the UK.
There. Yeah, so agentics.org. Everyone, please feel free to take the free membership. This is a community-based, a non-profit initiative that is global with kind of weekly 2 to 3 hours of live kind of community engagement on Zoom. Every time you come, you learn something new around the new worlds of AI, engineering, agentics. It's not vibe coding. Vibe coding is one aspect of it, but it's proper kind of new ways of change management, delivery, product conceptualization, creating things from an idea. That's the summary of it, right? And the whole idea is to democratize AI for everyone. So that's what it is. And Bence and I, and a few others in the UK, we're setting about to create a UK chapter. We will hopefully kick off with some of the well-renowned institutions around London. We will disclose the names when they have fully agreed to work with us. But we will start off with a kickoff. We will introduce how to get started with AI responsibly, securely, as a product manager, as a designer, as a marketer, as a salesperson, but not relying only on SaaS products, but basically start from fundamentals. Right? And increasingly, I think we will organize more events, live coding. We already have live coding and hackerspace on Thursdays and Fridays at 5 p.m. UK time. We will probably conduct more in-person community-based events. So that's what we intend to do. And Bence and I, we're going to put our LinkedIn details on the comments section in YouTube, and obviously LinkedIn you would anyways have. Please feel free to reach us for any questions, comments. And it's lovely that you're listening. If you are still here, we really appreciate your patience to listen to us, and your feedback is welcome as well. Thank you. Bence, over to you.
Yeah, likewise, it's a first kind of a UK Agentics live stream. I haven't been on a live stream yet in my life, so this is the premiere. So it was really cool, and we try to be very in the language non-technical. So apologies if we used a lot of terms, but sometimes we must use the right providers names, the terminology, because sometimes it's impossible. But we should be speaking in a plain English language, which is easy to understand for broad audiences. I know that technical guys like us, like nerds, can be carried away by jargon, but I hope it was understandable. If not, then please reach out to us. Happy to help anytime on WhatsApp, LinkedIn, or comments.
Right. On that note, thank you, Bence, for your time, and look forward to many more of this. Have a good rest of the weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.